Do you want to run an excellent business? Or are you in need of lifestyle tips? Yes, it's goal-oriented life and business coaching with Mandy Sigauke. Be sure to book your one-on-one session with Mandy. This session is equipped with various nuggets that could help you in your business as well as your life. This package includes goal setting, business planning, corporate and general etiquette, motivation, and many more. Contact the numbers on the screen and book your online session now. Be equipped and empowered to face the world head-on and be successful. It's goal-oriented life and business coaching with Mandy Sigauke.
Developing listening skills is one of the most essential things that everyone needs to have. Sometimes what makes businesses difficult, what makes negotiations not to run smoothly, it's because we do not have good listening skills. So it's very important to develop your listening skills and start and see ways that you need to adjust so that you can be a good listener. As long as you are hearing what that person is saying, it's not even difficult for you then to be able to communicate with that person and understand what exactly do they want, the message that they want to convey to you. So tonight I'm going to be focusing on other things that we can do in order to develop our listening skills, in order to be a good listener. Because all of us, we are presented with different situations, but you need to be a good listener so that you can be able to get to a point where you can say, I understood this thing, and from out of this meeting or out of this gathering, I want to be able to implement one or two things. So it is very important to develop your listening skills and to be a good listener. They say a good listener achieves more than a person who is communicating. So you need to be able to be a good listener. So one of the steps that you need to take in order for you to be able to be a good listener, you need to be able to look at the speaker. As you are going to be having meetings and different gatherings, if you really want to be a good listener, you need to learn to look at the speaker. That person who is communicating, that person who's giving a speech, that person who's doing that presentation, you need to give him your undivided attention. You look at them, you look them straight into their eyes. You are able to see, because communication, it also involves body language. You're able to see what are they communicating. Sometimes they're not even saying it, but their hands and whatever they are doing, if you give them your undivided attention, you become a good listener. So learn to look at the presenter, learn to look at the speaker. It is very important that you give them your undivided attention and you do not end up having other things that distract you. If you don't have the time at the moment, reschedule. If you don't have time, if you know that you've got other things that will force you to be checking your phone, maybe checking your emails and do other things, rather don't let that time pass you. Just reschedule the meeting if it's possible. If you can't attend that, just do it next time. But make sure, for you to become a good listener, you need to be able to look at the speaker and give them undivided attention. It is very important for you to be a good listener. You also need to check your emotions. If you want to be a good listener, don't go with your emotional baggages in front. You know, some people, they carry around emotional baggage that cause them to react in a certain way. The person is saying sit down and you are hearing other things because you have got emotional baggage. So if you want to be a good listener, you also need to know that you cannot carry your emotional baggage to the meeting or to whoever is going to be speaking. Anytime you become highly emotional when you react, you know, sometimes you become so emotional with one statement that speaker has said. She is not intentionally, or she's not saying what you are saying, she's saying, but because you've got your emotional baggage, because you are emotionally disturbed, you can overreact to a certain presentation that is genuine. The person that is presenting is doing everything out of a clean heart. They're even trying to help you, but because you are not emotionally stable, you end up overreacting. And then we end up saying you're not a good listener because of your emotions. So before you go to a meeting, before you go to any presentation, before you listen to someone, just have that just look at yourself and just reflect and see your emotions. Just have that time to check your emotions. Am I emotionally balanced for such a meeting? Am I not too disturbed? Am I not angry? Am I not even overexcited that it might distract? You know, some people, when they're overwhelmed, when they're so excited, they cannot even listen to what other people are saying. So it's very important that you check your emotions. Just make sure that you are emotionally stable. You should always have that unsuspecting. You know, when you are emotional, you are just suspecting, you're just concluding other things. You finish, you conclude the sentences on your own. You conclude the presentation. You sometimes you hear other people saying, you were talking to me. I could see that this whole thing was not about everyone, it was about me. And then sometimes you're even shocked when you're talking to someone saying, did you really mean the way that I was dressed? And that person said, no, no, no. I wasn't even saying it in a bad way. I was just trying to help. No, I didn't even realize you were in this state. I didn't even realize you were wearing this. I was just teaching. So have that time to check your emotions. Are you emotionally balanced? And this might distract you. If you see that you're not ready emotionally to listen to someone, just don't enter those meetings. Just try and reschedule and do other things. You also need to be able to ask questions for clarity. Before you ask questions, learn not to interrupt someone who is talking to you. Some people, before they even hear what that other person is saying, they're already interrupting, be it a meeting. And for emotional intelligence, it's not good. For conversational intelligence, it's not even good for you to interrupt someone when they are still trying to talk to you. Be a good listener. The moment that you are the last person to speak, you see that whatever that you're going to talk about, it's going to be something that will be valuable, something that is already useful, something that is, showing that you have been listening, and now that you have thought of something, everything that you are saying, people will then respect you. So don't interrupt a speaker. If you want to be a good listener, learn also not to interrupt others as they are talking. Some people, they just raise their hands in the middle of the presentation. They distract whoever is communicating to them. Conversational intelligence, you cannot do that. You need to learn to listen. And if that person finishes speaking and is asking for questions, before you even, don't be the first person to ask. Try and accommodate the people that are around you so that they can ask first, and you are following up. You are following up. By so doing, you're going to pick where mistakes are and where some clarity is really needed, than to just be that loud person that is, yes, it's good to be the first, but sometimes it's not necessary. You need to learn to listen to the other person, listen to the other one, listen to the other one, then be able to connect things. And when you ask, everyone is going to see that you have walked through of these things and you have really meditated. You have suggested whatever that you are going to be saying is going to be valid. So don't interrupt others. Learn to allow them to speak, even if you are not agreeing with what they are saying. It shows conversational intelligence. It shows maturity. It shows that you're someone of integrity. It shows that you are even respecting them. You allow them to finish, then you can then take over. Also, you need to ask questions for clarity. Now that the presenter has finished and even you have allowed other people around to ask, you can then come in and ask them where you didn't understand. It is very important to ask for clarity before you conclude and before you pass the wrong information to the other person. You conclude on your own, but there is no harm in asking for clarity. Also, what you need to do, you need to suspend your judgment. Have you begun listening to another person tell a story and started to respond on it before? You need to suspend your judgment. Before that person is just finished speaking, and you have already, before they even finish their story, you have already judged them, you have already concluded everything. So you won't be able to hear whatever they're going to say if you conclude, oh, okay, I see. That's why she reacts like this, because she's oh, I think she's a thief. Oh, I think she's having emotional problems. Oh, I think she's single. I think she's like this. So even if she's going to be talking, because you have already judged that person, you won't hear what they're saying. So it's very important that you suspend your judgment. Learn to listen to them, follow through them, don't judge them until you hear what exactly they wanted to say. It's very important. Suspend your judgment. Judge Joe Brown, we know you. You are good at judging, but the truth is that you can't jump to a conclusion and be a good listener at the same time. You can't judge a person and also be a good listener at the same time. So you need to suspend your judgment so that you are able to hear the end of the whole story and then make your conclusion out of it. Also, you need to be able to determine the need at the moment. You need to be able to determine the need at the moment. What exactly do you want? The ability to discern the other person's need at the moment is part of becoming an effective listener. What exactly does she want me to understand or want me to know about? Determine that need. A lot people talk for so many different reasons. Some they are talking to receive comfort. Some they are talking to just find somewhere where they can vent out, and let out whatever that is inside them. Some they want to persuade you. Maybe if she's talking to you, she wants you to buy a project, or she wants you at the end of the day to join her wherever. So you need to determine the need at the moment. Why is this person communicating? Why is she making this presentation? Is she seeking comfort? Does she want to encourage me or persuade me? So when you know the need, you become effective. A lot of men and women find themselves in the conflict because they occasionally communicate at cross purposes. So you don't just communicate, you need to determine what exactly, before you even make the situation more bad, before you even make everything, the atmosphere, everything because of your reaction. So determine a need from what is it, the need at the moment. This person, what's her main goal? Does she want to sell? Is she selling? Does she want to encourage me? Does she want comfort? What exactly is her need at the moment? Then this will guide you. Men usually want to fix any problems they discuss. Men and women, they are different. Women, on other hand, they seek that, they want to be listened to, and then they want to explain what really happened, and the car did this and they want that listening ear, and then they can conclude, and then they want that comfort at back. Whereby men say, oh, just get straight to the point. What exactly do you want? Because we need to fix it and do other things. So when you determine a need, you become an effective listener because you understand why this other person is communicating to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight as we're talking about developing your skills as a good listener. Just to round up, we said as long as you want to be an effective listener, give undivided attention to that person that you are listening to. Don't suspend your judgment. don't judge before you hear the end of the whole story. Also, you need to make sure that you determine the need. Why is this person communicating with me? It is very important. And also to check your emotions. Am I emotionally right to be listening to this person? Won't I end up reacting the way that I wasn't supposed to react because I'm not emotionally stable? So when you see that you have the time to give them the attention, when you see that you are not, your emotions are fine, when you see that you have determined the need at the moment, when you see that you are ready to listen to that person and ask questions, don't be the first to ask, allow others so that you give yourself time to digest and see what else has been left out, so that when you contribute, you are respected. When you contribute, everyone can see this was something valid. It's not about you just speaking. And never, never interrupt someone who's speaking. Allow them to speak. Allow them to present, even if you're not in agreement, but allow them to do that so that you become an effective listener. Hope this has helped you. Join us again next week as we talk about different issues that affect us as we interact, as we socialize, so that we can be the best of our versions. Thank you.
Attention to all dreamers with a vision. Is your vision stationary or on a standstill? Well, you have come to the right place. Embrace your vision with Mandy Sigauke, a multi-talented, phenomenal lady and a holder of numerous portfolios. She is a powerful motivational speaker, life and business coach, marriage counselor, narrator, and a preacher. Moreover, she is the director of Mansig Boutique and Mansig Events. For those vying for classic and modern weddings, she is the perfect person to consult, as she is a wedding planner. She is also an upcoming author on the verge of releasing her new book, Journey to be a Successful Woman. So do you have a vision at all? If yes, with Mandy, believe in your vision and do everything to turn it into reality. All you need to do is simply like and follow her Facebook page at Embrace Your Vision with Mandy Sigauke, and stay tuned to all the weekly teachings and seasons as you embark on this journey. Dream it, believe it, achieve it.